We were at the Asian supermarket the other day and I just had to pick up one of these mini bibimbap salads.
It looks super good. What's in there?
There's bean sprouts, spinach, carrots, an unknown vegetable, zucchini, and what I thought were mushrooms.
Okay, but here's the thing. We had one of these in the car hanging out, and this thing was $6 and it's definitely covered with oil. So we're gonna try to reverse engineer this thing the Well Your World way. What do you think?
Sounds good.
All right. Hey everybody, this is Dylan. I am here with Reebs in the kitchen and we are figuring something out today. We were hanging out at the Asian market doing our shopping, picked up one of these and we were eating it in the parking lot.
This was
just
not
hanging out.
On the list.
It was not on the list.
Can we please get one of these? I always get them.
And she was right, it's pretty delicious. But it's so simple. I mean, look at this thing. It's just a bundle, it's like a Buddha bowl with a sauce in the middle. Why can't we figure this out so that it only costs $1 or $2 instead of $6?
And it doesn't even have the rice, which you can get if you order bibimbap in a restaurant.
Yeah, this is way too low calorie for me. It would be just a little snack. And I want to make like a Dylan bowl of this with rice and the sauce, everything. This thing we both thought was some sort of a mushroom, but it is not. Upon Googling, it turns out to be this dried fernbrake. It's in the section that generally I would just walk by because I have no idea what all these interesting looking things are. There's this other vegetable, this dried vegetable, that is some sort of a bellflower root. I've seen this many times. I walked by it because this was in the produce section.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. And just sitting in a big basket. And I'm like, I don't know what that's, so this is what it was. So we're gonna play with this too, even though it's not in this bowl. Some of you may have trouble finding the fernbrake. We thought we'd do it with some regular, these are shiitake mushrooms, but we'll saute up some mushrooms too.
So what's the first step still?
All right, so we have this fernbrake here, and what I did is I pulled it out of this bag. It's all spindly and dry. Our example here doesn't have these little flower buds on it. So I just took these little spindly stems and I kind of just busted off the flower, threw them in the bowl, and then filled it up with water and soaked it overnight. And the result was this beautiful stems.
Beautiful ferns.
Ferns. They look weird, but they are definitely that. It was the same idea with this, but there was no prep. We just threw this into the bowl, boom, like that, and soaked it overnight too. Cool. And then that came out looking like this. It expanded quite a lot, as you can see, so I think I'm gonna chop this up so it's a little bit smaller and bite-sized.
So are we gonna do this and the radish?
Yeah, we're gonna do both. So we're gonna have one more item than that thing has.
Awesome. Why not?
And those were the two items that we had definitely never handled before from scratch like we have now today. We're gonna blanch all of these items. So I saute the mushrooms
Yeah, you could do that.
instead of boil them.
You
In
could
fact,
saute
it
them
probably
with a
doesn't.
little soy sauce and liquid smoke,
You
like I
do
like to do.
she likes a little bit of salt on her mushrooms. So yeah, sure, we'll do that.
Okay. How about you do the chopping and the boiling, and then I'll come help you out with the sauces.
Okay. Sounds good. Let's get started. Okay, so here's a monster daikon radish. We don't need to like peel it or anything because we're gonna cut it off so we can do the match sticking. I'm just going to cut off like, I don't know, like a 3-inch piece so that they're kind of bite-sized pieces, and then I'm gonna make a square out of this. You kind of just want to cut it into a square. Cut them about as thick or as thin as you want your pieces to be, and then we're just gonna turn it over and do the same thing again. Take these little flat pieces, you can stack up a couple or you can just do one at a time, no need to get fancy. We're just going to slice through it and make little thin matchsticks. Now let's do some carrot. I don't need to peel the carrot, I'll just cut the top off. Cut it lengthwise into the bite-sized pieces so you don't want to go too long, and then just sort of square around it and then start cutting little lengths that are as thick as you want your sticks to be. Same idea really for all these veggies. You can stack a few, boom, there we go. If you're having trouble with slicing them into matchsticks like this, you can use your food processor. It might have, you could use the grater. That's not gonna be as good because they're gonna be really thin. You might also have a julienne type of attachment in your food processor, and you could use that for this kind of a task. Carrots are ready to go. Okay, let's do some zucchini. Same idea, top it, bottom it, and take a little thin slice off the sides so we have nice flat 4 sides. I'm not worried about all the skin coming off. Boom, boom, make it into little patties. You can stack them up or take them one at a time. Again, these are pretty long, so I'm just gonna take them and cut them in half and make them a little more bite-sized, and we're ready to go. We've got our daikon, our zucchini, carrot. The bean sprouts you don't really need to do much with. They're just regular old soybean sprouts. Let's chop off some of these mushrooms. I'm gonna pull off the stems since they're pretty chewy, and we'll just use the tops. Let's just strip them, and then maybe give them a little chop the other direction. All right, there's a couple more things I wanna do with these dried ingredients that we soaked. We've got our bell flower stuff here. I wanna kinda make it a little more bite-sized. So I just wanna lay out some, and then I'm just going to sort of slice it in the same lengthways, but make them sort of more or less thinner pieces. And then we can make them a little more bite-sized by halving them too. For our last chopping step, I wanna make, this Gosari is very long. I'd like to make them into a little bit more reasonable pieces. So I'm just going to take it all out of here, kind of set it up lengthwise, and we're just gonna chop through. Okay y'all, it's time to do some blanching. We just have some pots of boiling water, and we're gonna do these all individually. It would be very easy to just mix everything together, but actually they take different amounts of time. So here is the Doraji, that bellflower root. I'm gonna throw that into a pot of boiling water, and we're gonna give that like 5 minutes. Bean sprouts, we're gonna give like 5 minutes. Give them a little stir, get them in there. So those two are going. Okay, carrot time. And pretty much while this is going, you just wanna take little tastes. So like grab a fork and just taste it, because each one of these only takes a few minutes. It's boiling. I made a big enough pot so that I wouldn't overflow it all over the stove like I normally do. And there we go. But that is way more water than I needed. Spinach probably needs less than a minute. Okay, let's test this carrot out. Oh boy, cross-contamination. Oh, the carrot is good. All right, let's save some of this water so I don't have to heat it all back up again. And we'll just kind of scoop out all of our carrot bits. But we need to spray this down with some cold water so that it doesn't keep cooking. You don't need a straight up ice bath. I'm just kind of giving it a little bit of water. Let's get this spinach out. Cool it down, cool it down. Perfect. I think we got the texture just right.
Just not the volume.
Just not the volume. We need to do another whole batch. Nice and tender. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's throw in our Gosari. This one is the longest. It needs like 10 or 15 minutes. So we're throwing it in, and we'll just let her sit. Good thing I bought 2 spinach, because that was not enough. Okay, batch 2 of spinach going in. Zucchini. I don't want to go too long on the zucchini, because the zucchini just needs like barely any time. Let's throw in the daikon. I think the daikon needs a few minutes. Put that daikon in there. You want to definitely get some crunch, right? On the zucchini, don't you think? It's looking real good. That's perfect. Let's test out this daikon and see how it's feeling. Oh, I think it needs a little longer. All right, how's this daikon doing? Much more tender. Here we go with the mushrooms.
I like your water technique.
You like that?
Yeah.
It gives it that stemmy fern flavor. I could go even longer.
Is it still pretty tough?
A little bit. I think I'll leave it. Leave it for a few more minutes. That one takes some time.
Mushrooms and spinach just shrink.
We're eating like $100 worth of this salad if we bought it in a store. Plus, it's covered with oil. You don't need that. That ain't culinary. Throw in the soy sauce. How much liquid smoke?
Just a tiny drop.
Tiny drop? This is not easy. This one does not have the stopper on it.
It's almost like you know what you're doing or something.
I'm just making it up. I decided they're not quite as tender as I want. I want to saute them a little bit, and I might do the little soy sauce trick with these too. Because after all, we only did the mushrooms because you thought these were mushrooms.
That's true.
So I want to do the same little bit of soy sauce trick, because these have a much earthier flavor. Let's do a little soy sauce. A little dabble of inauthenticity. A little liquid smoking soy sauce, not much. Okay, we've got everything blanched, sauteed, ready to go. My job here is pretty well done, Reebs. It's time for you to make us the gochujang.
But I thought you were the sauce boss.
This girl.
Okay, So let's throw about 8 dates in there. Garlic cloves, a tablespoon of miso, and then I'll add the flakes. Then I'm gonna start with half a cup of water and see if that's enough to get this blender going. Ready?
Ready.
It's looking pretty good. I'm gonna scrape the sides down a little bit. Get all of that pepper flake in there. All right, I'll let you taste it because you love spice.
It's really good. It is very spicy.
It is
So,
super spicy.
How could we make it less spicy for the others that are wimps, frankly? No offense.
I think that we'll add a red pepper.
Do you want me to chop it?
Yeah, this
that?
is also not authentic, but I think it might be delicious. How is it?
Very good flavor. You can definitely taste red pepper, but I really like it.
So are we ready to put it together?
I can't wait.
Let's just try to copy this, but we do have rice to start with. I guess we'll put the sprouts in that corner, the carrots next to it, the fernbrake here. We'll put the zucchini here, add the mushroom right next to that, put the radish next, then we'll add the spinach. We'll put the Doraji right in between the sprouts and the spinach.
Now that's how it should be, $6.
And we'll put our version of the gochujang right in the middle.
That looks really pretty. Ready to taste this thing? I like to dip my chopsticks in the sauce and then grab a piece. They need a little something more, don't you think?
This is delicious, but definitely not as rich as the vegetables in here because we found out that these have sesame oil.
Yeah, they could use a little more pizzazz. So Reebs makes this really good ginger hemp heart dressing. Why don't we make a little bit of that and like drizzle it over top of this? You think that would just button it up?
That would kick it up a notch.
All right, let's do it.
So we'll start with a 1/3 cup of water and then we'll add some more if we need to. Ginger, hemp seeds, 2 dates, miso, hot pepper flakes, garlic cloves, rice vinegar. I need 1 green onion if you could chop it for me.
Okay. How's that?
Perfect. Vitamix will do the rest. Do you want to try it?
Yeah. That is good.
I think I'm gonna remove this for stylish purposes and then I'll put it back in.
Here we go.
How's that look?
Even better.
And then we'll put that back in the center.
Nice. All right. Should we
Okay.
taste it again?
Yeah.
That's just what it needed. It's perfect.
So now that you've had that one, how do you think it compares to the store-bought version?
I think this is better. Plus, I know it's healthier.
So that was our fun little experiment after a trip to the Asian supermarket.
And it was a great success, in my opinion. All the ingredients are down below for both of the sauces, everything we made here. I'll put links to some of the hard-to-get items too. If you like videos like this one, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.